Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Action Sunday, episode 200. Holy shit, I've made it 200 episodes, and many years later, I've reached this epic milestone. I thought I would reach this about a year ago, but you know what? Time would tell when I would reach it, and I made it here now. And how appropriate that my 200th episode also happens to fall on Arnold Schwarzenegger's 75th birthday. Holy shit. How crazy is that? So, Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you're listening, if this message gets to you, I want to wish you myself a happy birthday, and I hope it's a good one. I hope you're celebrating with your family and whatnot, because, man, your career has, wow, inspired a whole generation, made a whole bunch of fans, including myself, a fan of your work, okay? Especially the one that I'm going to review today, and that is Total Recall. Now, for anybody that is just tuning in, I put out this poll like 2 months ago about which Schwarzenegger movie I wanted to review for my 200th episode. It was either this one or Terminator 2, because both these movies are both my favorite of his. So unfortunately there was a split vote. So I with a flick of the coin, I to call a tiebreaker, I had to figure out which one I would view. So I decided to review Total Recall. But don't worry, I will get to Terminator 2. Eventually, okay? Maybe a couple of weeks, okay? So there's that. So let's talk about Total Recall. Why is this one of my favorites of his, okay? Well, for starters, I think it's because it's a sci-fi flick, and I do have a bit of a soft spot for sci-fi films in general. And of course, as you can tell by the movie behind me with its futuristic say. And of course, here's something interesting for anybody that never knew about Total Recall, is that the story is actually based on a short story by Philip K. Dick. Yes, the same guy that wrote the Blade Runner movies and Minority Report. So, with all that, how does this hold up? Well, to me, I feel like it still does hold up. Compared to the remake was shit. I'm not going to lie. Colin Farrell will never hold a candle to Schwarzenegger, okay? And not to mention, like, there was just so much wrong in that movie where I could say this really blows it out of the water. Because, I mean, just look at the visuals, look at the saying, the story moves perfectly. And, like, I mean, how can you not fall in love with something like that, like with the cool technology that they're able to include into the set piecing and production design of all that? I mean, seriously, look at that. Come on. You gotta love and give love and respect to this. Also, I absolutely love the creature and alien effects on this movie, okay? Because, man, how many movies would go to show something cool and not rely so much on CG? And yes, the three-tailed alien, we all know about it. Moving on. But again, how well does everything else hold up? I think it still does. Story, like I said, moves at a great pace. I love the characters, and the cast is just perfect. I'm going to say this right now. Outside of Schwarzenegger and of course, hey, there's Detective Harvey Bullock in the Batman animated movie. And I bet you guys didn't know that. And you got Rachel Ticotin, you got Sharon Stone, Michael Ironside. I really love Michael Ironside's character because I'm going to submit this right now. Between this role and General Katana in Highlander 2, let's talk about that movie, the better. This really shows that Michael Ironside can play a really good villain. And my gosh, Richter was just batshit intense. You could tell, like, he's just doing it all for the good of his mission. And of course, Cohagen, played by Ryan Cox, aka Dick Jones from RoboCop. Gotta give a bit of love to Busting the Tower there. Shout out to that. I had to do it, okay? So, yeah. Come on, you gotta fall in love with how well Michael Ironside was able to blend, and he worked really well with Schwarzenegger in this movie. What else can I say? Like looking at this product really just shows me, like, wow, even back then, even though things look dated, I still think it definitely holds up. Through story-wise, even though it just makes you wonder. I mean, we're about to get up to the scene where, hey, was this movie entirely a dream, or was it real? I just love that. Okay, and that's always been a subject of debate for many years after this movie came out. Is like, what the ending leaves it open. It's like, do you know? Was it a dream? I mean, I wish it could. Like, hey, life on Mars, all that cool stuff. And like, who knows? It just again, I really like how Philip K. Dick was able to employ some of that good writing, his shtick into some of his works. Not just this. It happens in Blade Runner. I mean, just listen to some of the dialogue. Just think about that. Like, it just makes you wonder. Okay, and alternate life. Like, are we all just that, or are we all living a dream kind of thing? I mean, it's crazy to think about. So obviously Phil K. Dick is no longer with us, but seriously, you gotta give tip of the hat to him, and I gotta give a tip of the hat to Schwarzenegger, because he always brings the fire in this movie. Okay, of course, obviously he is I'm gonna say this: he is the undisputed king of the frickin' one-liners. Come on, not outside of this. Come on, you know, I'll be back. And of course, was Hasta La Vista, baby. You could write a whole book on some of his one-liners. But of course, there's one line that I like from this movie more than the other line that comes later, and that is, you know, see at the party, Richter. You know, after his arms break off, you know that. Well, spoilers if anybody's never seen the original Total Recall. If you haven't, where the hell have you been? And of course, obviously, avoid the remake, okay? I hate it. I 100% hated the remake. And of course, I know some people will go with the argument, oh, practical effects are a thing of the past. But you know what? I don't want to get into the debate of CG versus practical and some things when it comes to storytelling. But the bottom line is, you can't beat the classics. And I really enjoy this movie so much. And like, I mean, I would love to see like meet some of these characters, like if they like in this kind of society, like oh, I would definitely connect with them. You know, it just makes you think. Okay, but besides that, what's my final score on this epic classic? Well, let's see. This may be my personal bias, but after much thought, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. The one thing that I think hasn't aged is there is a few moments later on in the movie that make me just go, okay, I thought that was a little unnecessary, or I don't think we should have gone this way. But if it was for the purpose of the story, that makes sense. Okay, I don't want to keep unraveling more and more of this movie and more of these intricate plots to the characters and what happens. But again, this is more of like my retrospective, my feelings on it. Because if I keep talking more about it and try to peel apart every layer of every character, I'd be talking until the cows come home. But overall, you guys gotta give this movie some love. To me, this is one of Schwarzenegger's best work. Right up there with Terminator 2, right up there with the Terminator, and practically almost any good works of his. I'd probably throw Predator and Commando up there as well. All right, that's my personal bias. I want to hear your thoughts, and please give this movie a watch. Okay. So that does for today. Thumbs this video, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos, and of course, once again, Arnold, happy birthday, buddy.